So for me, I feel like I'm trying to. It's the same thing I was trying to do when I was a little kid. Kind of is uh, get people to see what they can't see, and like I've known that we were an alien experiment since I was a little kid. I was told back then. I started trying to tell people, nobody listened, but I knew that already, and I knew we were being watched. I knew that there was people talking to me all the time. And, I know like we are all connected and reincarnation is real. And when you were born over and over and over again, we've all played in each other's lives. We are all a part of the same thread, you know? We are what life is. We are the creators of life. And, for me, I could never. I knew the stuff that religion was saying and the stuff that science was saying was just like watered down stuff. Like it wasn't giving us the full picture. It wasn't telling us the full truth. And one thing is with religion, I was thinking about this morning is that when they wrote this stuff, I mean, they didn't have the same understanding. Like our language has been messed with from the beginning of time, and that has been done on purpose because we can't communicate, we can't carry on, we can't. And that's one of the things why they're out to get rid of the older people, and they're so focused on the young people right now. They're hitting them hard with the programming, and they want the division between the generations because they don't want us to be able to have a full picture. That's done on purpose. So, and we're watching them manipulate our words and language right now. We're in these two realities. Like we're seeing what's going on. And it's exciting to me because I know we're moving out of that. It's what's being exposed. It's exposing itself so we can see because we're moving out of it and we're going into the new age. And which I was super, super excited this morning when I got up. I like to get up and see, like I use YouTube as part of my communication. Some people, everybody has their own thing. And I'll know when it's a message to me, right? So I'll ask them, like, is there anything, and I'll talk to them all the time, but I'll be like, is there anything I need to see? Do you need to show me something? Is there something I'm missing or whatever? And I'll go on there and then they'll have a thing at the front. And it's pretty magical because it always answers my questions. It tells me things. It will give me confirmation all the time. It's constant confirmation. And so I know what's out there is real. I've known it forever. They help me. They tell me where things are. They're always helping me. And it has been me who has shut them out before. And it is not that them shutting me out, but there is times where I feel like, sometimes I can just feel like the other day when I just felt so down. I just felt so desperate. And I don't know if I'm not sure energetically what was going on, if it was something that these energies came in. I'm not sure if it was something that I wanted to do for myself. So I got a new perspective of something because it did make me see something more. I'm not sure about, how or why some things happen, but I do know that it's real. This other stuff is real, and I have my inner knowing is like you can't change somebody off of their inner knowing, but to me the religion and stuff is very, very manipulated, and it's all for people to make money off of. The Vatican had a lot of gold, and a lot of people enslaved to them, giving them money, going without food, giving them money as they're hoarding all the money, and these people are going without. So, but one of the things is, I was thinking this morning about it, was that So when this happens, because I was singing, you know, in the tribulation, I think it's called, my mom said something about, and they have it also in that show, The Leftovers, but something about, you know, the good people go up. I mean, it even gets to this, you know, 144,000 people are going to go and stuff like that. Out of billions and billions of people, 144,000 are going to be saved to go sit up at the feet of God and sing to him forever. And I think 144 has something to do with hertz or something. I don't think it has to do with the number of people. I'm not sure. You know, I've heard a lot of people coming up with different things, I believe. But, you know, that the people are going to go. Half the people are going to just go. And, which doesn't match with the number 140. So I don't see, that's what I mean, is like there's so much stuff that just doesn't match. But to me, when they wrote that and they said about these people leaving, you know, and them calling them angels or something, that would make more sense, because to me, that's what they thought the aliens were. They thought the aliens were, you know, more advanced, gods, angels, demons, whatever, however they understood these beings. They knew that they were advanced spiritually than them. And the aliens were trying to teach them back then and trying to help them and building them things and stuff. And I think there just became a point where the experiment had to, it was like they had to let us see what we were going to do in the situation. And, you know, we've proven that we have intelligence, compassion. There's a lot of good things about us as human beings. But we are being manipulated right now. But so to me, the real thing is that there's going to be spaceships that are going to come down. So if they were trying to talk about something from the future and they're saying that angels are going to come down, see, that makes sense to me. The angels are going to come down and take people, you know, the good ones up to God. And, but from what, you know, I understand things to be, is that the spaceships will come down and they will take people up during the event, during this planetary changeover into the age of Aquarius, because we're already in the transition as human beings. You know, we're watching the things be exposed, we're preparing, we are, you know, questioning ourselves and our own moral fiber, and we are understanding more about, you know, integrity and truth and enslavement, hoarding, greed, corruption, all of that stuff. We're seeing it all expose itself. And it's going to be, you know, we're not going to take those into this new one, but the planetary changeover still has to happen. You know, that is still part of it, because this is a cosmic changeover. This isn't just, you know, this is our Earth cycle. This is a solar system cycle, and it's a change. And I think when you start really understanding about a soul's journey, about reincarnation, about what a soul is doing, and about how like this is kind of like the card game ended, and now, you know, they're reshuffling and handing out the new hand to us all, you know, and we've started a new game. We're not going to be on the same game. We found too many cheaters in that game, but we have a new game. And so now we're going to start a new game at this table. That is, you know, in the whole big scheme of things, that is what's happening. And that's the transition to the new age. It's a whole new experience for the soul. And the planet is going to also, you know, because, you know, like when science talked about the Big Bang, like that is, I think it's part of with the climate control and stuff like that. Not the climate control, that's their BS. The things that are going on in our planetary system is we are in this shift. It's not, anything else. You know, what they're telling you is just another way to control you and make money off of you. And they're leaving out lots of facts to manipulate you. So, you know, we still have that. And that is what I believe the tribulation is when the ships come down. Because when the earth shifts, if you're not ready vibration-wise, and, you know, I'm not sure how that all works, because you know, there's so much talk about like light bodies and all that stuff, but and I don't know, that's where it gets to, like, you know, you need to have somebody to have a conversation and share ideas, like, what about this, what about that, oh, you know, because, you know, it is like so much stuff that it could be. So it's interesting to talk about, but, you know, I could just sit here and say, what if. But there's, you know, things changing. There's something that's going to be different. And I kind of just see it as it's our own view of ourselves, because we are consciousness. We are creating this right here. So it is the people who can kind of gain control of their consciousness, I think, are the ones who can ride this planetary system as it switches over. And but anyways, it's going to be completely different. And there could be some people who just see it as like it's the end of the world, but it's not the end of, it's the end of that world, but the beginning of a new world. Like we're going through a door into, like, the new hand was dealt. But the thing I thought was really cool this morning when I went on to my thing was a geologist. And it said, what's really going on the planet or something like that. And so I was like, I don't like to really go in and listen to what other people think, because I don't like it to distract my own thoughts, because mine are coming from outside of me and I'm listening and trying to understand, and I know what they're telling me is real, and I don't like to listen to what other people say. You know, if they bring me something and I go in and listen, it's usually just confirmation, something that I've said. So anyways, for a second I was like, do I want to go in and watch this? And it was like, oh, they want me to, so I better. So when I went in, and it was all about what's going on the planet, and he's talking about the cycles. When he started going to school, he started studying the cycles of the earth. And that is, and he confirms what I'm saying. And, you know, we are in this cycle. It's a change. And, you know, and it's a changeover for the money. That's why this is going to be a jubilee. We are leaving debt. We're watching that system fall apart and be, you know, and that's not to say, you know, because of how the cycles go, eventually, after a few generations, they'll start developing some other thing, and it will get them turned into a mess, and they'll have to see how that plays out, because that is part of reincarnation cycles. It's part of playing everything out and coming in to have these different experiences, because it expands how you look at things, expands your consciousness. And you know, there's a lot about that. And I think there's a lot of people talking about that. But there's been, I mean, like the only way some people can even understand their soul is just like it's owned by God or the devil. Well, what about if you own it? What do you do then? You know? Everybody seems to be so willing to, you know, hey, this guy's got a lien on my soul over here. It's like, I feel free. I don't feel like anybody has a lien on my soul. I feel like I can look at all things and see the good and the bad. There is no set thing. There's God, the idea, the concept, has got good and bad. He's not perfect. The devil, he's got good and bad. He's not perfect. I mean, Jesus Christ, how they even sold him as, you know, poor Lucifer. He just thought he was cute. He couldn't compete, you know. He just gave up. And then he had to go to war over beauty. you know. So there's just, I mean, when you start really looking at some of the ideas and concepts that they sell us, and, you know, things just, it gives it another turn. But that's, you know, I feel like there's people who probably listen to me and think, like, you know, just a crazy new age nutball. But, you know, I really do feel close to God. I really do feel like, or whatever you want to think of God. God to me is the universe. It's the universal love. It is the universal communication. It's feeling a part of all things. You know, I live there. So yeah, it can be a beautiful world. You know, but when you are caught up in looking through someone else's vision, then you won't see it. You're going to see it through their eyes. And I haven't really met anybody yet that I want to see anything through their eyes. I mean, sometimes I hear people say stuff and it's like, oh, I kind of like to see, like, how in the world do they see it that way, you know? But I'm not going to argue with somebody. I'm not going to try and convince somebody to see things the way I see them. That's not what I think we're going to be about. I don't think that's our way of transitioning into this new way of being. It is a sharing of ideas. It's appreciating one another. It is, you know, looking beyond our differences and realizing our sameness, realizing our connection, and realizing we are all things. And, you know, we're moving into a super exciting time, you know, a time when families are going to, instead of sitting down to watch a movie together, they're going to go out to the lake together, you know, and sit on the shores and, you know, watch nature and sit by the water and feel its presence and breathe clean air and, you know, connect with each other. And, you know, kids are going to actually start growing up and feeling that they belong somewhere. And, you know, it's going to be a really so much more beautiful shift. And, you know, it's going to be a great time in humanity. And it's super exciting. And I know there's a lot of people who know why they're here. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Let me see how long, if I should just add it on here. Because it was another thing that, you know, that they were telling me this morning. I think I'll just start another one and talk about it. So hold on.